to get Kurt Nimmo to do a blurb on this and get it up on Infowars.com. But Google, Facebook, Twitter, they're all announcing all over the world that they're going to comply with any type of censorship that governments request. Tracking people, shutting down websites critical of the government. I mean, I see them, you see them. It's all over the news every day. They've gone from denying that they would ever censor to just admitting it. So we beat SOPA, but now they're signing treaties like ACTA. They're going ahead with it. And Google has changed their privacy policy to where you have no privacy. They also have, just on one of our YouTube channels that has 177 million views, they have deleted 10,000 of our subscribers and another 5,000 last night. And we have new subscribers, old subscribers confirming that they subscribe and the videos are not being sent to them. And that on top of that, they're being unsubscribed even though they're active users. So they're not purging old accounts like they say they are. And they're engaged in all sorts of other stuff. They'll take videos we put up that have nothing that's even PG in them. And they will put parental controls on them where it kills them going viral. You know, when some video gets 60,000 views in an hour, it's clear it's going to get, 10 million views. And I've had videos that have done that. Boom, parental control. I mean, it could be me just sitting here talking, not using any profanity, nothing. Boom, blocked. You got to log in, sign in. It kills the viral movement. You can't post it on websites. They do it all the time. And they nickel and dime us. So they're in the process of trying to kick us off YouTube. People say, well, then just leave. They advertise as a commons. They advertise as a big open forum. That's what made YouTube great, was you and I. That's why it's YouTube. And it's been false advertising. That's why they are changing their rules to openly say, this isn't really about you. And we have confirmed they're big partners and people. Their view counts go up quicker. Our views will be much greater, but they'll hold them a few days. They're doing a whole bunch of stuff so that we can't win on a level playing field in the intellectual fight. And it's a big deal. So I want everybody to do your own YouTube videos and send them to us. We'll post them on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com if we find them in the email. And I'll be looking for them and send them to my guys to make a point about this and to give your testimony of signing up, 3 days ago, and you're deleted off of the Alex Jones channel on YouTube. We've got 8 channels, but one with 177 million views. All total, it's about 400 million now the last 3 years. And that's 400 million views. I mean, that's big. The biggest YouTube channel there is only has about 1,300 million. And we would be the biggest, undoubtedly. They weren't always doing this. They won't even give us a partner channel. Then we're going to your calls and our guest here in a moment. And I love how we took that call and he brought up the whole water issue. The point is, the tyrants are shutting things down everywhere. They're moving on every front and admitting they are. And saying, hey, troops are going to arrest you. Hey, we're getting rid of the Bill of Rights. Hey, copyright. I got a letter saying I can't say for dummies. And I sent them a letter back and say, well, let's go to court. They're now saying there can't be sky in the word Skype. They're now saying you can't write a headline saying NFL coming to town. They're now saying trademark is you can't say NFL installs bodies. You can't say that word. That's obviously not what trademark is. It's a new tyranny through trademark and copyright. It's on. But not just that. It's on every front. I can shoot a video with just me in a room with a white wall behind me talking, and they'll restrict it. Because they know you want to see it. They know I'm stomping the daylights out of them. Despite all this attempt at censorship and the rest of it, we've gone over 100 stations. Our show is getting huge listenership, and subscribers are signing up. I've talked to the XM folks. That's exploding on channel 166. We're #1 alternative website in the world, Infowars.com. I don't call Drudge alternative. He's like standalone mega media. And he is becoming alternative in a way, so I guess he's the biggest. But after that, we're it. And so we're over the target. We're getting flack. Pray for us and also support us. Go to the online video bookstore. I'm going to be honest. I'm really disappointed. I can sell a book and sell 5,000 copies of it in a week and fund our operation. Great. But I say I'm selling Infowars.com bumper stickers at cost. I had to hire like 2 extra people in the shipping department a few months ago when people went crazy with this just to get them out. So I'm losing money because I'm selling the stickers at cost, not even counting the shipping, them having to pack it. I got spray paint stencils, all of it. And we've only had, since I've been pushing it, a couple hundred orders. I mean, that's ridiculous. Folks, I want everybody. We got a whole bunch of new InfoWar stickers, very effective InfoWar weapon. I know a lot of folks are taking action out there in legal and lawful areas, their own property, barns. I've seen people spray painting overpasses with giant InfoWars. That's just terrible that you would do that. You should not be warning people that they're engineering with GMO to sterilize them. It's terrible. You should stop that. Seriously, don't do anything illegal. The point is, it's time to turn the heat up. So go to Infowars.com. Maybe people don't. Maybe I'll raise the price. I was selling more bumper stickers when it had 100% markup. So I guess you want to pay more. I mean, is that what's going on here? All right, I'm going to go back to my guests and your calls. It's on. Okay, it's on. We're under attack everywhere. The globalists are really starting to pay attention to us. Going back to our guests, you hear me ranting, but I mean, we're seeing more and more censorship. We're seeing Cass Sunstein at the White House saying censor those that disagree with us. Go ahead, Rosa.
Well, back in the 1800s, early 1900s into the mid 1900s, we had tons of little newspapers. Everybody had a town paper. There was a morning paper, an afternoon paper, an evening paper. Now you pick up that rag that you've got in your town, which I know is a mouthpiece, and it's, garbage, but it is your local paper, and there's 4 pages there, 10 pages. So the thing is that we have been basically, this is what they get you to do. They offer you a product that looks really great to you. The internet is fabulous. We love it. And then they restrict it. And so meanwhile, they put everything out of business. There's no more newspapers, and there's no more independent press newspapers. All those little papers are dead. I really appreciate you, Alex. Thank you for doing this show, and thank you for getting this information about UN Agenda 21 Sustainable Development out to the world, because we all are our own papers now. This is it. You can't rely on anybody else to get this information out. You want to make up flyers and get these out to people, because the more educated we are, the bigger we are, the more of us there are, the more control that we will have, because we have lost control. And this is what we need. You've got your electronic media. What about when all your books are on electronic media and then they can change them? Or
Kindle's already deleting stuff. They admit that's their plan. They can now go out on YouTube with a program and erase every video that has your voice with a voice print. It's called Shazam. And we're actually seeing it. Again, a film that I own the copyright to, that a company doesn't even have the copyright to. I've got to deal with this. In-game, anyone tries to upload 30 seconds of it, it's preemptively blocking it because they're saying in-game is theirs. I mean, it's already here. And that's why I plan to start a physical paper where we email people the template to print it in their area or have it online. Or even if we have to mail a thumb drive, if it gets to that point, where I'm going to start a paper that's half our national news, and then the other half is whatever you put in it in your town. That's one of my plans. I've been so busy I haven't launched it because I knew all this was coming years ago. Now I need to hurry up and get that going because, I mean, it's here.
We're going to have to go back to the Pony Express or something like that, because the thing is that people will not be silenced. And I want to tell people, obviously you know this if you're in school, if you're a kid, or if you've got kids, or, you're reading your children's, information that they come home from school with. Sustainable development is in everything. It's not just that, this is a plan to take your land and water and your mobility and your independence, but you'll see it in your schools. And so you're going to see it in their documents, and you're going to see it in your newspaper, and you're going to see that it's got the right jargon. They make it sound so great. They make you sound so stupid and so ridiculous if you don't go along with what they're saying. In fact, I've got this thing here I want to show you. Hey, you don't believe Agenda 21 exists? Here's, what is this called? It's called Rescue Mission Planet Earth, a child's edition of United Nations Agenda 21. It's got a workbook in here. It's put out by the United Nations. It's got a workbook in here for kids. Your children are being indoctrinated in your schools through outcome-based education, which teaches you to what? Be obedient. The corporate model wants you.
Well, it's dog training, but let me stop you and go back to calls because every point you bring up is so central. Yeah. I went to 3 national parks a few months ago with my wife and children, but also did news gathering while I was there. At every national park I went to, I showed this on air, like the Grand Canyon, had a free coloring book at all the park restaurants, and it said, tell your parents to turn off the lights and don't take a hot bath for the earth. Your carbon footprint's too big, and go to the ranger station, present this, and you'll be sworn in as a deputy forest ranger. And then I went to the ranger station, and they'll swear you in, but it's also a sales job where they have little uniforms for like $50 for boys and girls, and then the ranger tries to sell, I'm not kidding, tries to sell them little Hitler Youth outfits, and then there's manuals that are even bigger, all about how your parents are bad. I mean, these are hardcore crooks running an op like Hitler to take your kids from you. I mean, that's what a cult they are.
You know, Alex, people who think you're ranting, you know, the truth is it really is like this. This is exactly what's going on. Hitler Youth is not far off. We are seeing, you know, that people are having to do their city year before they can graduate from school. This is mandatory volunteering. You're finding that, you know, they're training children to be obedient like dogs. You're not learning anything in school. They're rethinking mathematics so that it's social equality, social equity. That's an element of United Nations Agenda 21. And, you know, there's a logo. I want to show you this, too. Let me just show you this. This is the Marin County general plan. And every city and county in the United States has a general plan. And that's, you know, tells you your land use plan. Right inside of this plan is the logo for the United Nations Agenda 21.
Yeah.
That's those three circles. You're going to see this all over. They're
putting them up at Austin parks.
Yeah.
I want to read a quote here. We may get to the point where the only way of saving the world will be for the industrial civilization to collapse. Maurice Strong. Again, here's another quote. After all, sustainability means running the global environment, Earth Inc., like a corporation with discretion, amortization, maintenance accounts. In other words, keeping the asset whole rather than undermining the natural capital. And they just go on to say, shut down the United States. Incredible.
Man, you know what? Listen to this. You are the asset, okay? You are the asset. You people, all of us, are the asset. You're either non-producing or producing. The amount of food you're going to be getting, your calories, will be dependent on whether you're producing or non-producing. You might think this sounds crazy. It is crazy, but I am not. This is real. These plans, you go... Oh,
no, let me stop you. They admitted all the documents we were just showing the other day.
Oh, yeah.
That they're going to shut your resources down, and then when you can't take care of yourself, they're going to say, we'll give you money, but get sterilized. We'll give you money, but take all these vaccines. So they make you dependent so they can then cut you off.
That's exactly it. They create dependency, and then you are completely dependent on them. And then when they cut the programs, then you are willing to do anything.
And they can use the folks that are addicted to the programs as their army. Let's go back to the calls. Incredible info. Tim in New York, thanks for holding her on the air.
Hi, Alex and Rosa. I can tell you firsthand that Agenda 21 is alive and well. My wife became a resource for them. She's for research purposes, and haven't seen her in 3 years. We don't know if she's alive anymore. She's been placed in a facility under lock and key, and nobody can see her. And the hospital had an interest in her about 2 or 3, 4 years prior, because she was a research subject in the 1950s with thymus radiation. And she didn't want to have anything to do with it. And through a chain of events, the hospital has gained control of her and started forcibly drugging her, and we don't...
Well, you know about all the eugenic secret testing in the U.S., and yeah, a lot of times they do grab the subjects later if they speak out. That happened to your wife?
Yes, if you Google, it's public info, Patricia Kobylak, K-O-B-Y-L-A-K. You'll get a lot of information, and it's really amazing.
Well, they're still forcibly sterilizing people. Just 4 years ago, it was in New York Daily News in New York State that they were taking little black kids and testing pesticide on them till they died. And the social workers blew the whistle themselves, and nobody got in trouble.